Good evening. In today's session, we'll discuss about creating cube from relational source. So how to create the cube with the help of SSAS for the relational source. Like for example, I'm having a database called as a source system. In this source, I'm having a tables called as EMP and DEPT. These two tables are having data in this format. Select star from DEPT. Select star from EMP. These are the two tables I'm having. They are not in the form of dimensional model. So maybe DEPT you can treat this as a dimension table. Employee you can treat as a dimension table, but here it is consisting salary and commission. These are the measures. So that means it is not pure dimension table, and you cannot call this as a fact table because it is consisting descriptive data. So it is a relational model, it is purely. Now we'll try to convert this into dimensional form, means into set of dimensions and fact table, and then we'll create the cube for this. So I'm trying to create a cube for relational source. How means, first of all I'm going to the file menu, new project. I'm creating a project for analysis services, multi-dimensional and data mining business intelligence. What is the project name? So depending on requirement you give some project name. For example, I'll say cube for relational source. This is my project name. And project solution name is, for example, cube for relational source SOL. Click on OK. So new source is created, under that solution, under that project is created. Now I'm going with the data source. So whenever you are saying cube means you should have a data source view dimension. Corresponding to that you are creating a cube. So first of all we'll go with data sources. Right click on the data source, new data source. Click on next. Select your source connection. If it is already available, use it, else you create it. Now this sales DB what you are having, this is not my source. The database is different. So this database is different. Here this is source. Previous one you are having for sales DB. But I won't access the source, so I'll try to create a new data source for this. So I'll say new, provide the server name, for example Ramesh -PC, Windows authentication, select the database as source, test connection, it is saying test connection succeeded, OK, click on OK button. Choose this connection what we have created just now. Click on the next. Select an option like use the service account. Use the service account. Next. What is the data source you are creating? For that give some name. So I'm saying like DS, it is a data source. For a source database I'm creating, so I'll say source DB, some name. You can give any name. Click on finish. Data source is created. Here it is showing as ds underscores db.ds. Once the data source is ready, the next thing is we should create a data source view. So perform right click on data source view. Say as a new data source view. Click on next. Select the data source just now what we have created, that is ds underscore source db. After that, click on next button. See, it is asking what type of tables you need. You choose the tables as per the requirement. I am selecting EMP and DPT tables, both these tables. Click on add. Click on next. What is the name you want to give for this data source view? Provide some name. I am saying DSV for source DB. So you are trying to take the two tables like EMP and DPT. Click on finish. But they are in the form of relational form, not in a dimensional form. So we'll convert these two things in the form of dimensional. How means? Perform right click within this white space area. Click on new named query. Provide the name. For example, I'm saying D underscore employees. This is my dimension table. Now what are the fields it should consist? You can specify that with the help of a query or in wizard form also. I am clicking on a button called as add table. I am selecting employee table here. Select that, click on add, click on close. So what are the fields you need from this table? You specify like employee number, employee name, job, manager, hire date. Only these are the descriptive fields under this table, so I am selecting them. Depart number is there, that is a key belonging to another table. Here it is taken as a foreign key, so I am not capturing that field. Salary and commission are the measures, so I am not selecting even those fields. We are selecting only the descriptive fields like employee number, name, job, manager and hire date. Click on OK. So we got the dimension table. Same way, we will try to create another dimension table. Perform right click, new named query. Give some table name like for example D underscore DEPTS. I am giving the name as departments. Now again here we can fetch the fields by writing a query or from the wizard form. So I am clicking on add table. I am selecting the DEPT, add and close. I am selecting all the three fields, department number, department name and location. After that, click on OK button. So the second dimension table is created. Now I want to go for fact table now. So perform right click within this white space area, new named query, and I am saying F underscore salaries. F underscore salaries. Click on add table. I am choosing EMP as well as DPT, both the tables. Add and close. So the select statement is generated by implementing inner join or equi join. Now I am selecting department number from department table, employee number from employee table. So these are both are keys under my fact table. Then select salary and commission. Select the salary and commission. Click on OK. So this is my fact table. Totally 3 tables you are having. Now 2 dimensions and 1 fact table, but only thing we doesn't have any relationship between them. First of all, these are logical tables. These are not present in the physical system, not at the database level. Only we are having metadata at our data source view. But even though it is in metadata, if you want to read the data from these 3 tables, means we should have a relationships. But they are not physical tables to create the physical relationships. So create logical relationships. But to create logical relationships, first of all, the table should have options like primary key and foreign key. Then you can create the relationship. But right now, among these 3 tables, D underscore employees, D underscore DPT, and F underscore salaries, this table doesn't have any primary key and foreign keys. So maybe you set the primary key and foreign key, after that create the relationship, or try to create a relationship, but it will say it doesn't have the keys. Do you want to create, like it will ask some confirmation message. If you say yes, it will create the keys. So I am selecting department number from F underscore salaries. To make a relationship with the department table, simply I am dragging this field, I am linking to depart number of D underscore DPTS. Now it is showing me some message. The destination table of the newly created relationship has no primary key defined. Would you like to define a local primary key based on columns used in this relationship? Say yes. So if you observe now, DP10 under DP2 table, that modified as in key. Now same way, employee number from fact table, simply select it, drag it and release it on employee number of D underscore employees. Again it is saying that it doesn't have primary key. Do you want to create? Say yes. Now if you observe in D underscore employees table, employee number became as in key and we got the relationships. So we have converted the relational model as a dimensional model with the 3 tables, like 2 dimension tables you are having, employees and DPTs, and 1 fact table called as in salaries. So dimensional model is ready now. Now we will try to think about creating dimensions for the cube purpose. How means, select the dimensions node under solution explorer, perform right click on these dimensions, say new dimension, click on next, select use an existing table, next. I am using a data source view called as DSV underscore source DB. I am selecting employees table. First of all, D underscore employees, what I created explicitly in the data source view. It is taking employee number as a key from there. Click on next. Along with the employee number, what are the other fields we need? So I'll select employee name, job, manager and hire date. So what are the fields we kept under our dimension table? I am selecting all those descriptive fields here. After specifying these things, click on the next. So it is trying to create an employees table with these attributes like employee number, name, manager, job and hire date. So do you want to keep the same name or do you want to change? It is your wish. Simply I am saying employees. That means indirectly it is creating a dimension table on the name employees. It will add an extension called .dim. Click on finish. So now if you observe in the dimensions, it is showing employees.dim. After that, if you need a hierarchy, create the hierarchy. But right now I am ignoring the hierarchy part. We'll go only with the dimensions. So we'll try to create second dimension. How means on the dimensions node, perform right click, say new dimension. So it is trying to open a wizard. Click on the next. Use an existing table. Next. Select the data source view DSV underscore source DB. Select the table department number, that is a key. Next. And along with that specify other fields like department name and location. Department name and location. After that, click on next. Give the name for this particular table. 1 minute, I am selected the wrong table, I think. We will go back. So it is not DEPT table, we will choose D underscore DEPTS. It is our dimension table what we created. Then depart number is a key. Next, depart number, department name and location. 3 things I am choosing. Next, and the dimension table I am saying simply DEPTS or departments. Departments I am saying. Click on finish. So it is added one more dimension table. So 2 dimension tables are there. Even in second dimension table, if you need hierarchy, we need to define that. But in this scenario, we are ignoring that hierarchy. Then select the cube node. Select the cube node. Perform right click on that cube node. Say new cube. Click on next. Select use existing tables. Click on next. Now whatever the fact table is there, you select the fact table. So means whatever the table you are having, most of the foreign keys and only measures, choose that particular table. Already we have created in our data source view as F underscore salaries. So I will select that. If you need any suggestion, you can click on suggest button also. But already I know that my fact table, so I am choosing F underscore salaries. Then click on next. So it is taking automatically the measures from there called as a salary and commission. Along with that, it is adding one new measure called as an F underscore salaries underscore count. So if you want to rename these fields, you can rename it. Do you need these fields into your cube or not? Depending on your wish. If it doesn't need, you can deselect. But at least one measure it should consist. So on third measure I am renaming as just count. I am taking all the 3 measures, but which is one is added implicitly along with the salary and commission called as an count. Click on the next. And dimensions are employees and department. At least one dimension should present in a cube, but I am selecting both dimensions. Click on next. Then what is the cube name you want to give? Specify the cube name. I'll say employee cube. Some name. Click on finish. The cube is created. After that, deploy and process the cube. Right now, if you go to your SQL server, under analysis, connect to analysis services, connect databases. If you observe, only one database is there called as sales first cube. But along with that, try to create we'll try to deploy another thing. So come to your SSAS, go to the project, perform, right click, say deploy. It is trying to deploy. It is saying deployment completed successfully. Close this. And if you want to extract the data from there, go to the browser tab, and here it is showing me that employee cube. Simply prepare the queries, or maybe simply drag the fields. Like for example, salary. It is showing me the value as 29,025. With respect of department, I want to view, so I'm dragging the department name. So it is showing me accounting is 8,750, research is 10,875, sales is 9,400. But I want to view with respect of job. So what I'll do, I'll remove the D name, simply select it and drag on top word, leave it. And from employee table, I am trying to drag the job. So here analyst is 6,000, clerk is 4,150, manager is 8,275, president is 5,000, salesman is 5,600. But salesman means, is it like one person means? No. Is it analyst means one person means? No. It is set of employees. So if you want to view those employee names, simply drag that E name. So here analyst, 2 employees are there, called as Ford and Scott, each person's salary is 3,000. Clerks, if you data, there are 4 employees like Adams, James, Miller and Smith. Their salary is 1100, 950, 1300, 800. So what are the fields you are placing? Based on that, it is showing that aggregated values. So you can have the view of data in this way from here. Maybe if required, you can prepare a select statements explicitly and you can fetch the data also. Like for example, so this is my fields you are having. I'll remove all these fields. I'm going to the script form. I'll write a select statement now. How means I'm saying select measure is salary on columns, comma, with respect to department name I need. So I'm dragging department name and I'll say on rows from cube name is employee cube. Select this and execute it. Exit query, it's showing the output in this way. Accounting operations, operation doesn't have any data, showing as a null. I'll add one keyword called as a non-empty. Execute this. It's showing accounting, research and sales. Operations is not there because its value is null. So as I said, non-empty, that row is eliminated from this list. But is it like it should show the department name on the rows and salary on column? Means need not be. Something like you can say like this. I'll modify this measure on the rows and department name on the columns. Even it is valid. Select it, execute it. I need to give the comma here. Execute. It is unable to fetch the data. We'll try to view at the database level. So this is the cube what you're having. I'll open the new query and refresh it so that you got the cube for relational source PRJ. That is an employee cube what you are having. Now we'll create a new query window for the employee cube. Then I'm saying select measure is salary on rows, comma, drag the department name on columns from the sales employee cube. Select it, execute it. We got the output in this way. So if you here at present each department is there on a separate column, salary is on a row. But if it doesn't need like this, maybe you can write in this format. Select salary on columns comma department name on rows from the cube name. So I'll execute the second query. It's showing the output in this way. So now the salary is on column and the department names are on the rows. So as per your wish, you can define in this format. So like this, we can create a cubes. We have created a cube for the relational source. We have taken the EMP and DPT table from a source, a relational database, and for that we have created the cube. So the cube creation can be done with respect of relational source or with respect of OLAP source or dimensional model also we can create it. So it is about the cube creation. Thank you.